Well, yeah, I mean, the chemistry was a big part of it, and we were all friends. And then, when Dennis left the business and Stan took his place, we had obviously known Stan from Memphis, and there was a chemistry there in that you couldn't find two different people outside the ring than Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane, but inside the ring, they'd both been tag team wrestlers. They'd both been professionals for years. They knew what they were doing, and they blended perfectly. You wanted a little contrast in personalities, and that's what you got, but it worked together. So that's unfortunately another problem with wrestling today, with tag team wrestling that everybody laments has gone away. The guys are all signed to the big companies to individual contracts, because before with any tag team that was successful, they would come into a territory together, they would leave together, they would travel to different places together and work together, and they would be together for years. But now with each wrestler signed to individual contracts, it's up to the promoter or the writers, the dreaded writers, as to whether guys are put together. And they put together teams for a few months, and then they break them up, and they do something else. Nobody has a chance to get that experience and get good and travel to different places. There are no different places to travel to anymore. So that's another reason why tag team wrestling is a lost art, because nobody is able to apply themselves to it and be together long enough to be good at it.
It's very, very true and very well said. Now, I think this might be an impossible question for you, but I just wanted to ask, just kind of be a little bit funny with it. But, us and me and Chad, we always talk about it, and, any of our friends, like, oh, who's your favorite incarnation of the Midnight? For me, I like Bobby and Stan. I don't know why. I just like them maybe a little bit better. But do you have a favorite incarnation of the group, or is that impossible to pick?
Well, first I'll say it's like picking your favorite children. Somebody's going to get mad. But I will say this, both of them were correct for the time. The first 3.5 years that we were together, it was the Midnight Express's job to be the main event tag team in Mid-South or in Crockett, the World Tag Team Champions, get a lot of heat, stir the fans up as much as we could, and for that, Bobby and Dennis were perfect. Then in the pay-per-view era, as that came along, we got moved into a slot where we were supposed to be the great match on the card right underneath the Horsemen in the main event, Flair and Tully and Arn. And for that more cosmetically pleasing era, Stan Lane was perfect. So it really, both sets of Express were perfect for the given time that they were being featured.